Hi Virgo, welcome to your mid-November 2018 tarot and astrology reading. Thank you for all your likes and subscriptions. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. I'm doing monthly and mid-monthly readings. And my channel actually turns 1 on the 20th of November, I believe. So it'd be good to have you along on the journey. The World card. Okay, so this is probably indicative of the Sagittarius energy we have, although this can also represent Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. It can represent fixed sign energy. So we're focusing in on the fixed sign energy amidst the Sagittarius mutable energy. You are a mutable sign. And what I can sort of see from the skies at the moment is that your communication with others is possibly a little bit trickier than usual, thanks to Mercury retrograding in Sagittarius, thanks to Jupiter moving into Sagittarius. Not that Jupiter moving into Sagittarius is in any way a bad thing, but it can emphasize for the moment with Mercury there what issues we have with those around us and seeing the bigger picture. You may find it difficult to see the bigger picture, particularly if you're working for global corporations or global firms. People could really be pushing your buttons. Similarly, with travel, Mercury retrograding can mean disruptions and delays. Venus, however, is the more quiet side of the sky as it's in Libra, so you can expect some reprieve in your more intimate relationships. The misunderstandings seem to be quite... they seem to be sort of... what's the word? For Jupiter, they're kind of enhanced. They're enhanced, basically. There could be more opportunities for misunderstandings, is what I want to say. The World card wants you to wrap something up and see the bigger picture. We're coming to the end of a cycle, so you may be coming to the end of a cycle in work. Or you may be seeing a different way of doing things. You may be deciding that you want to start a new journey completely. The World does wrap up a lot of projects successfully. The only reason I mentioned the disagreements in the Discord is due to the skies, but it can be minor, Virgo. It's just that the way things are, they might be propelling you to point out other people's mistakes, because other people might be a little bit more laxy-daisy than you. And having Mercury, which is your ruler, retrograde, can emphasize this difficulty. And the Ace of Swords here as your beginning card means that communication is very important, but it's a double-edged sword. 4 of Cups. You may be rejecting something or someone. In your positive position, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Challenge is the 7 of Pentacles, and the outcome is the King of Wands. And underneath we have the Fool. So we have Aries energy too. Listen, Virgo, I can see very clearly from this spread and from the skies, you know what you're doing in terms of career, and you know what you're doing in terms of finance. You have more details, more understanding. You can make the most of your work situation. The problem is the patience. Patience could really be wearing thin this month, is one way that I'm seeing this. And you need to be wary of that, because these relationships are still important, you know. People will be pushing each other's buttons for sure. But that doesn't mean we can't get along to some extent. You're doing fabulously. The 9 of Pentacles in your positive position means money is good for you. You are working hard. You're seeing success in what it is that you're doing. It's just kind of everyone else is the issue at the moment. People are really pushing your buttons. And you may be subconsciously rejecting them, and then they reject you back, because there seems to be a rejecting energy. Or possibly you are frustrated at the apathy surrounding other people. Or you feel like their contributions aren't enough. You feel like they don't care as much as you do, and you wonder why they're there. What's interesting is that you could be dealing, romantically speaking, with a fire sign personality. An Aries, Leo, or a Sagittarius who seems to be coming to the fore for you as being of some significance this month. The Fool card, as we saw the World come up earlier, it wraps up certain aspects of your life. It wraps up projects. It wraps up careers. And the Fool is all about committing to a new journey. Embracing the unknown. He's more of a free spirit, and that seems to be energy that could be very beneficial to you. With Jupiter moving into Sagittarius, you may need to let go of the reins a little bit in order to progress. But that's not to say you have to change yourself, Virgo. That's not at all what you have to do. you just have to accept that there's going to be people around you that don't get it the way you do. They don't see the positives of the situation they're in, or they don't see the opportunities to grow and work on something. Patience is definitely wearing thin with Mercury retrograde. And you may find with Mars moving into Pisces as well on the 15th, which is your opposite sign, you need to channel your aggression. You might find yourself snapping a little bit more than usual, and the cards want you to breathe. They want you to be comfortable delegating with confidence. You know, the King of Wands is the outcome. Delegate with confidence rather than the irritability of the other side of the Ace of Swords. It's double-edged. The World card indicated to me, particularly with the Nine of Pentacles, you are accomplishing a lot in your work life. You're setting your nose to the grindstone and you're really, really working on what it is that you're doing. And maybe somebody's trying to ride in your coattails a little bit and you find it frustrating. There's definitely conflict in the workplace that needs to be sidestepped in case you say something you might regret. Now remember, with the Ace of Swords, it is double-edged, but one edge of the sword represents power and victory and even clarity of thought. So you know what's going on. You really do. That's one thing we've established in this reading. I have repeated it a couple more times than I should have. Difficulty in that, though, is that when you're surrounded by people that don't know what they're doing and you're trying to explain it and they don't get it, it is going to lead to a frustration with you. The King of Wands is very entrepreneurial, so some of you may actually be beginning a new journey as an entrepreneur, stepping out on your own because you can't deal with where you were in the workplace. Maybe things weren't growing the way you hoped they would. They weren't progressing the way you hoped they would. And you found your niche with the Nine of Pentacles here. You have an idea of what it is that you're good at, that nobody else can do, and there's a gap in the market that you want to fill. And the Fool is giving you that optimism that you can do it. Interestingly, though, the Nine of Pentacles, and this is something that Virgos do quite well, is gratitude. Feeling grateful for where you are, feeling grateful for the opportunities that you have. If you do that, you will move yourself out of the Four of Cups momentum, which is apathy. Maybe some of you want to start a business, but you don't feel educated enough, is one other way I'm looking at this. With this Eight of Pentacles here. The Star, gorgeous. Hopeful, wish fulfillment. Oh, the Four of Wands. Jupiter is moving into your home sector on the 8th of November, so that does make sense. The Two of Wands, you're definitely getting an entrepreneurial spirit. Five of Pentacles. Tired of being kept out in the cold. Justice, wow. Interesting spread, Virgo. This is very different to... very different to the other signs, though it has some bearings, similarities to Cancer's reading. So I'm going to, in light of the Two of Cups, I'm going to delve a little bit into romance. So there appears to be, with the Star and the Ace of Swords, there appears to be a breakthrough in communication or a breakthrough in self-reflection. Now the Two of Wands is in the favourable position beside the Nine of Pentacles, which is feeling quite self-sufficient and quite comfortable, but with the Two, it's all about discovering something new and making progress in a situation. The Two of Cups underneath also indicates to me that perhaps there is someone who you have a like-minded connection with, which may develop into something more, particularly if they are a fire sign. Justice in the Two of Cups presence can sometimes indicate an engagement, a wedding, or with the Four of Wands here, possibly moving in together and signing a tenancy agreement. The Five of Pentacles and the challenge is that you could have been out in the cold with this person for some time, or there could have been a period of financial difficulty that you seem to be working your way through. Now, for a lot of you, you may be out in the cold with a person who has come and gone. And that person may very well be another earth sign when I see the pentacles. But what seems to be coming in for you, Virgo, with the King of Wands and the Justice card could very well be a more committed or stable relationship with a fire sign. Someone who is willing to meet you in the middle, someone who is willing to balance out the obligations that it takes to make a relationship work. Someone who is doing the work as well as you. Now, when I see the Four of Cups and the Four of Wands, it could actually be someone that offered to move in with you or asked you to move in and you didn't take them up on the offer quite so soon, or maybe that you're considering moving in with this person. It may also be that you're considering moving on from a person because their communication has lulled dramatically. Some of you are dealing with a ghosting situation. I always feel that way when I see the Five of Pentacles and the Challenge. But the Star card asks you to have hope and faith in the situation. You know, it's a very welcome card if you've been going through challenges. Magical energy, especially with the Ace of Swords, you're rediscovering the magic. With Justice, you could actually very well be dealing with a Libra. Temperance. Okay. Interesting. A lot of reflections. The Emperor. Knight of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Definitely earth signs. Queen of Swords. Yep, could be a Libra. Could be an air sign. Okay. And the Page of Pentacles is underneath. A lot of this, Virgo, seems to represent your career. So I'm going to talk about career and then I'm going to go into love a little bit more deeper. So, more deeply. Apologies. The interesting aspects that I see here, it's very much as if you know what you're doing, but either somebody else is doubting you or somebody else is holding you back in the workplace. You want to make a progression. You want an offer. You want a new offer on the table for what it is that you're doing. You want to be acknowledged with a financial change or a role change. Or if you're looking for a job, you simply want a job that matches exactly what it is that you desire. For many of you, you could be working in property. I do see that with the Emperor and the Four of Wands. You could be working in property or working for a property. Maybe you want to buy a house. There seems to be something about a house here, and I can't help but realize with Jupiter in your home sector for the next year, it may be the year where you finally get your dream home, Virgo. So keep that up there in your wish list, your dream home. Imagine what your dream home looks like. Imagine what the floor below your feet looks like. What color are the walls? What's the driveway like? Really get into the visualization of what home you want and who you want to be there. Like, who do you want to be there when you come home in the evening? That type of thing. Focus on that. The Star card and Temperance means that you need to start to pay more attention to your wishes. Pay more attention to your desires. They may be things that money can buy, but concentrate more on the feeling rather than the financial sum. Temperance asks you to be more moderate. In light of all the aggravating energy in the skies with the mutable energies, you know, the Sagittarius energy, the Pisces energy, with Temperance, I want you to try and stay calm and manage your stress in a different way. There's differences between you and the people you're surrounding yourself with, whether they be romantic or whether they be work. But you need to be able to blend these differences. Take a higher perspective. Take a hopeful perspective. Have hope that the situation will resolve, and don't be too quick to snap. If you feel like snapping, try something else. Try, with the King of Wands, you could try a sport. Some of you may also work in a legal profession. in which case you may encounter a particularly difficult client, or you may be dealing in legal proceedings whereby your female representative is a Queen of Swords person, someone who's very firm but fair, but you can't get much empathy from, or someone who really rules with an iron fist. The King of Wands there as well. I can see two legal counsel going head to head, so maybe some of you are involved in legal proceedings. With justice, it will go in favour of the person who is most deserving, and that is something you can always be sure of with justice. It will be a fair outcome, it'll be a balanced outcome, and it will be a karmic outcome. Okay, so if we're dealing with love, I can see a few signs, and I do feel like the fire signs and the air signs seem to be in particular enhancement here. Aquarius, Sagittarius, Libra, and of course the earth energies are here too, and that's not to write off the water signs, by the way. Just know that I'm just reading what comes up in the cards. They don't have to be, you know, a specific sign. But the challenge with a particular partner for many of you with the King of Pentacles here, I'm saying you don't know that the relationship's going anywhere. You don't know that it's growing. Or if you're getting married, because justice can be that outcome, you're worried about how to save for this wedding, or how to save for a home. In fact, you may be having a bit of doubt of your saving abilities in general, because with the Nine of Pentacles, you should be in good financial nick, but you don't feel like you're saving like you should be. Maybe you had some bad financial advice, or maybe you were overspending beyond your means. Maybe you have student loans to pay off and they seem to be at the top of your priority list, or taxes. It could be something, there's money coming in, but there's also fear about a lack of it. So maybe some of you need to address your fear towards money. The Knight of Pentacles in the positive position, he's strong, but the King is in the challenge. So I'm thinking your relationship with money needs to have a little bit more faith. A little bit more faith, a little bit more manifestation, a little bit more concentration on your wishes. Now, I'm quite particular. I don't like to leave cards on a court card for some reason. It's, yeah, there's the World again. Okay. Definitely could be an Aquarius. There's Gemini too. So, Virgo, what I want to say with the Queen of Swords in the World, you're reaching a successful completion of a project this month. Please remain calm. So people are going to be pushing your buttons for sure, especially in work, maybe in love. Try not to get too sidetracked by your financial concerns and your career concerns. Remain optimistic. The Star card is here to grant you a wish. If there's something that's really worrying you, leave it up to the Star card. Okay? That wish is going to be granted. Try to be more in the moment. Try to be more present. With Temperance, be more moderate in your approach. Be more middle of the lane. People are going to be pushing your buttons. But you can have great success in a legal issue, career issue. This could be administration as well. So bear in mind, this could be in your career. Love-wise, I feel like everything's pretty calm, to be honest. Venus in Libra is quite a calming spot. It goes direct on the 16th. It's a good place to have, financially speaking. So Venus going direct will help your finances magnificently. In fact, it may have been challenging them while it was in retrograde, but it's going to improve. So bear that in mind, please, Virgo. Justice in the outcome means that Venus in Libra is going to be a positive thing. Ooh. Sacred space, create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. Your connection needs to be looked at this month, Virgo. The arts, express yourself through artistic creativities and creative activities. Apologies. Athena, inner wisdom. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. Trust in the process, Virgo. Things are good. They're just going to seem a little bit more friction orientated this month. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, Virgo. If you have any questions or inquiries about readings or astrology, etc., my email is listed below. And I will talk to you in December. Bye.